God only knows the blood on your hands.
Pretty ludicrous coming from the dime store Captain America.
I'll have you know I was actually the official Captain America, so.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're discussing why Thunderbolts is the best MCU movie since Endgame. And yeah, we say that with an asterisk since No Way Home, Guardians 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine were all pretty rad. Beware of a few spoilers.
No one here is a hero.
We all have things that we regret.
Putting a meta mirror up to the modern MCU.
Being a hero, there is no higher calling.
Reading between the lines, Thunderbolts plays like an allegory for the MCU's current state, which has been largely coasting on our nostalgia for the Avengers, kind of like Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. Valentina acts as if she has everything mapped out, although she's really just making things up as she goes along. Something similar can be said about the MCU lately. Just as Valentina is on trial, Marvel's leadership has been in the hot seat with many losing faith.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming.
Few were expecting the Thunderbolts to restore that faith. Much like how the titular team saves New York, though, this film is the change of pace Marvel needed. Were these parallels intentional? Probably not, but it makes for a more interesting watch with that in mind.
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
A genuine threat. Even at the MCU's peak, only a handful of the antagonists stood out. The Void ranks among the franchise's most intimidating and identifiable threats.
I am a void.
Whereas most supervillains are in pursuit of power or revenge, the Void isn't driven by personal gain. It's a manifestation of depression, which can consume a person to the point that they get lost in a labyrinth of their darkest thoughts.
You thought you were gonna be some great savior? You can't even save yourself.
Emphasizing how mental health applies to everyone, the Void spreads throughout New York, making each individual live out their worst memories. It's the first MCU movie in a while where it felt like regular civilians were in peril, not just the protagonists. The climactic battle is physical and internal as our heroes face their inner demons together.
Maybe I need to show you.
Finally delivering on Valentina. If the Thunderbolts are the MCU's answer to the Suicide Squad, Valentina is their Amanda Waller. While Julia Louis-Dreyfus always brings her signature wit to the role, the character has lacked purpose since making her MCU debut almost 4 years ago.
We're not gonna need a Captain America. We're gonna need a US agent.
In The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Black Widow, she popped up just to tease future MCU projects. Whereas those cameos were fleeting distractions, Valentina's presence in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever really caused that film's pacing to drag.
I actually dream about that.
Thunderbolts delivers on Valentina's potential, establishing her as a formidable force who walks a tightrope between intellect, incompetence, and improvisation. Louis-Dreyfus is perfectly suited to play an even more power-hungry version of Selena Meyer. She even has her own Gary in Geraldine Viswanathan's Mel.
I mean, the place wasn't cheap, but it's got good optics.
Downplaying the comedy. A common criticism of the modern MCU is that the quippy dialogue has gone stale, often coming at the expense of drama and character growth. Thankfully, Thunderbolts doesn't overindulge in the Marvel humor.
You feel fulfilled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so full. So filled.
That's not to say it's completely played with a straight face like some of the Snyderverse films. There is banter between the characters, which can be hit or miss. Unlike Thor: Love and Thunder and the Marvels, though, it doesn't dwell on these moments for too long. When a joke doesn't land, it flies by quickly.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
When the film wants to tackle the serious issues plaguing our heroes, it goes to those dark places without trying to force in a punchline. The tone is consistently mature with a hint of lightheartedness.
This team can be the heroes, and the weight is boxed.
More adult action. Like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thunderbolts doesn't quite go for the R rating, but it comes close enough. The film makes it clear up front that this is going to be a grittier MCU movie. With that rougher edge comes higher stakes, establishing that even characters who were prominently played up in the advertising are expendable. While the film can pack a punch, it doesn't over-rely on graphic violence.
Stay out of my way.
The climax isn't heavy on blood or gore, although seeing what the Void does to people is arguably more shocking and disturbing. There's a particular moment involving a little girl that filled us with legitimate dread. It doesn't hurt that the filmmakers aimed to incorporate as much stunt work and practical effects as possible.
That's not good.
It doesn't feel like a feature-length preview. Teasing future movies has always been an MCU tradition, although it's become especially egregious as of late. As mentioned before, Valentina's entire subplot in Wakanda Forever played like an extended preview for Thunderbolts.
You're looking good.
I try.
The Marvels had so little going for it that the final trailer pretty much gave away the mid-credits twist. Then there was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, a glorified sneak peek at Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, which isn't even happening anymore. Thunderbolts remains focused on the story and characters at hand rather than wasting time hyping us for the next movie. Yes, there is a post-credit scene hinting at what's on the horizon. Even if you took that out, though, we would have been more than satisfied with the movie we just watched.
This could get messy.
No shit.
It's not homework. Interconnectivity is part of what's made the MCU an unprecedented achievement. Yet even Kevin Feige has reportedly acknowledged that Marvel movies are starting to feel like, quote, homework. Whereas Captain America: Brave New World could have been a fresh slate for Sam Wilson, it became a sequel to The Incredible Hulk, which nobody remembers. Although Thunderbolts assembles several characters from past projects, your enjoyment of the film doesn't hinge on knowing their whole backstories.
Everyone here has done bad things.
Even if you skipped Black Widow, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Ant-Man and the Wasp, the audience can immediately grasp what makes each character here tick. While being caught up helps, it's not required since these people are so well defined. Similar to James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, you can dive right in.
So what, do we all just punch and shoot?
Making stars out of supporting players. After Florence Pugh stole the show in Black Widow, we all hoped that Yelena Belova would stick around. Marvel delivers with Thunderbolts, not only giving Yelena center stage, but taking the character to more complex places.
Yeah, so?
So, someone wants us gone.
Of course, this is an ensemble piece with each member getting a chance to shine. John Walker and Ava Starr might not have been fan favorites out of the gate, but they both feel much more fleshed out here. Alexei Shostakov is fun as always, and Bucky Barnes has come into his own as a leader. The breakout is Lewis Pullman's Bob, who is initially introduced as comedic relief.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
By the climax, though, he becomes the film's most tragic figure. Each Thunderbolt has main character energy.
There you are.
Now what?
Oh, get over yourself.
A cast with chemistry. While these characters all work well enough as individuals, they function best as a unit. When we heard the cast list for Thunderbolts, it sounded like Marvel was making a meal out of leftovers in the fridge they forgot about.
Stop! Please, John, stop! Where were you?
Leftovers can make for a surprisingly satisfying spread, however. As dysfunctional as these characters are, that's largely why they fit together so well. Thunderbolts aren't just a team. They unintentionally become a support group, helping one another work through the trauma that's been haunting them.
Look, I've been where you are. The past doesn't go away.
As far as Marvel's recent team-ups go, the Thunderbolts are certainly a step up from the Marvels, where Kamala Khan was the only one excited to be there, or the Eternals, where we couldn't name a single character's personality trait.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Taking the MCU to deeper depths. We know Deadpool and Wolverine was rated R, but in many respects, Thunderbolts feels like the most adult MCU film to date. It isn't the profanity or violence that makes the film adult. Rather, it's the approach to difficult subjects like mental health.
There is something wrong with me. An emptiness.
Thunderbolts takes advantage of the fact that it's a superhero movie, visualizing trauma in clever and effective ways. Despite the extraordinary circumstances the characters find themselves in, we can all relate to the sins of the past, the search for purpose, and the sinking feeling that there's something wrong with us.
So you can either live with it forever, or you can do something about it.
Even with the Infinity Gauntlet, you can't snap these feelings out of existence. You can either run from them until they catch up, or confront them head-on, preferably with a helping hand.
But we can find a way. Together.
What did you think of Thunderbolts? Let us know in the comments.
We are the Thunderbolts!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.